You find yourself in a place of waiting, in a valley of silence and stillness, where the noise of the world fades and the heart grows restless. You've walked through seasons of despair, disappointment, and confusion. Your dreams have withered on the vine. The promises you once clung to seem distant. Like stars too far to grasp, you ask, why this pain? Why this delay? Why does the darkness linger so long? Listen carefully. There is a purpose, a preparation taking place that you cannot yet see. This moment is not the end, though it may feel like the end of everything. It is not a punishment, though it may seem like a curse. This is a refining fire, a training ground for something far greater than you imagine. If your soul is tired, if your spirit is weak, if your faith is nearly extinguished, do not give up now. Do not surrender to the lies that tell you there is nothing ahead but emptiness. This is a crucial truth. The greatest things are rarely revealed in times of ease. They are not handed out like rewards for good behavior or as trophies for success. No, the grandest blessings come from seasons of testing, from the breaking down of the old self, from the stripping away of every false comfort. The soil of your heart is being turned over. The hard clods of pride, selfishness, and doubt are being broken apart. It is a painful process because it must be painful, for what is made of clay must be shaped by the potter's hand, and the potter's hand is never gentle if the vessel is to hold something precious. Do you realize that your suffering has a voice? It speaks louder than the promises you read in glossy books or hear from preachers who know nothing of true hardship. It declares that you are alive, that you are being prepared for a task greater than the small dreams you once entertained. The trials you face are not random. They are not accidents. They are intentional, purposeful, designed to stretch your faith, to deepen your reliance, to humble you until you grasp that you are utterly incapable apart from the power that is at work within you. Consider the stories of those who have walked before you, not the ones who lived comfortably, but those who endured the fire. They did not receive the promises immediately. They wandered in the wilderness. They faced giants. They were betrayed by friends, forsaken by families, crushed by enemies. They carried wounds invisible to the world, but searing to the soul. Yet they did not despise the days of small beginnings, nor did they turn away from the process of sanctification. They endured because they believed that something greater was coming. Have you believed that? Or have you settled for the bitter dregs of disappointment? Have you let bitterness root itself in your heart and poison your hope? Understand this: bitterness is the enemy of the promise. It will blind you to the glory that lies ahead. It will make the path seem darker than it truly is. But faith, true faith, is the shield that quenches every fiery dart. Faith whispers to your weary heart, "This is not the end. Something greater is coming." What is this greater thing? I cannot fully describe it to you because your eyes are not ready to behold it yet. But it is more magnificent than anything you have dared to dream. It is a purpose so grand that your soul will rejoice beyond measure. It is a joy that surpasses understanding, rooted not in circumstance, but in the unshakable certainty of the promise that is being fulfilled. You must prepare yourself. Do not be deceived into thinking you can arrive at this place by your own strength or wisdom. Pride is the great stumbling block. It is the poison that will undo you. You must come to the end of yourself. You must be willing to admit your weakness, your failure, your utter dependence on that which you cannot see. This is not a comfortable place, but it is the only place where true growth occurs. I urge you to examine your heart today. What are you holding on to? What idols have you erected to shield yourself from the pain of waiting? What false securities have you trusted in that will crumble like dust when tested? Repent of those things. Turn away from the lies that whisper, "You are forgotten. You are alone. Your efforts are in vain. These lies are from the enemy of your soul, designed to keep you bound in despair. You must cling to hope like a drowning man clings to a lifeline. Hope is not wishful thinking. It is a confident expectation rooted in the promises that have been spoken over your life. It is a flame that no storm can extinguish. It is the anchor that holds you firm when the waves of trial threaten to pull you under. Remember, the darkness is never permanent. The night may be long, but the dawn always breaks. The seed that falls into the earth dies and is buried, but it rises again with greater life. You may feel like you are buried now, hidden in the darkness, but this burial is necessary for the resurrection that is to come. Do not waste this time. Do not grieve as those who have no hope. Use it to grow in character, in patience, in perseverance. Let your faith be tested, refined like gold purified by fire. Do not chase after every fleeting pleasure or distraction that promises relief but delivers only emptiness. Instead, fix your eyes on the unseen, the eternal. Fix your gaze on the promise that is sure and steadfast. There will be days when your heart feels faint, when the burden is heavy, when the path is unclear. In those moments, remember the great cloud of witnesses who have gone before you. They endured mocking, flogging, imprisonment, and even death because they believed in the promise of something greater. If they could endure, so can you. The journey is not for the faint of heart. It demands courage, faith, and above all, surrender. Surrender to the process. Surrender to the pain. Surrender to the refining work that is breaking you down so that you can be built up. It is not easy, but it is worth it. You will come out on the other side changed. Not just stronger, but transformed. Not just victorious, but glorified. The trials you endure now will become your testimony, a living witness to the power that sustains those who refuse to give up. So I urge you, do not lose heart. Do not despair. The night is darkest just before the dawn. Hold fast to the promise that something greater is being prepared for you. Though you cannot see it now, though your eyes are filled with tears, the day is coming when all will be made clear. Trust the process. Trust the one who orchestrates every detail. Your story is far from over. The best is yet to come. Stand firm, be strong, and wait with hope. Suffering and waiting are purposeful preparations, designed to refine and strengthen you for something far greater than your current understanding or circumstances. The trials you face are not meaningless or accidental. They are intentional processes that break down pride and self-reliance, making you ready to receive a grander purpose and deeper joy. True hope and perseverance come from unwavering faith in the unseen promise, not from present circumstances or fleeting comforts. Despite the darkness and pain, holding fast to this hope transforms suffering into testimony, empowering you to endure until the breakthrough arrives. You find yourself in a place where every moment feels heavy, where the weight of waiting presses down on your soul. There is a deep ache in your heart, a restless longing for relief, for clarity, for the fulfillment of what you once hoped for or dreamed. You wonder if the struggle will ever end, if the delay is a sign that what you desire will never come to pass. Yet, I urge you to listen carefully. This waiting is not wasted time. This suffering you endure is not random or meaningless. It is purposeful, intentional, and designed to shape you in ways you cannot yet comprehend. You see, the path to something truly great is never a smooth, easy road. The world may celebrate comfort and instant gratification, but those who have walked the path of significance understand that waiting and suffering are essential parts of preparation. Imagine the refining of precious metal. Gold is not pure when it comes from the earth. It is mixed with impurities, surrounded by dirt and stone. To become what it is meant to be, gold must be put into the fire. The fire is intense, scorching, and dangerous, but it is necessary. The impurities rise to the surface and are removed. What remains is pure, valuable, and beautiful. Your waiting and suffering are that fire. They are the means by which the impurities in your life, the pride, the self-reliance, the impatience, the doubts are burned away. You may feel broken now. You may feel like the trials have crushed you, like the weight of your circumstances is too heavy to bear. But understand this, the breaking is part of the making. No potter can create a vessel without first breaking down the raw clay and then shaping it on the wheel. You are that clay, and the difficulties you face are the hands that mold you. They remove the hardened parts, smooth the rough edges, and form you into a vessel capable of holding something far greater than what you have known. This preparation is often hidden and quiet. It happens in the darkness where no one sees. The world measures success by visible accomplishments, by quick results and immediate rewards. But what is unseen, the work of the soul, the deep internal transformation, is far more important. Waiting and suffering expose your true character. They reveal whether you will be rooted in the shifting sands of circumstances or in the solid rock of trust and faith. You might ask, why must it be this way? Why must there be pain and delay? The answer is that what is being prepared for you is too precious to be handed over before you are ready. If something great is to be entrusted to you, something that will require wisdom, patience, strength, and humility, you must be equipped to handle it. The preparation is as important as the gift itself. You must learn to depend on strength beyond your own, to cultivate endurance, to grow in character. These qualities do not come from ease, they come from trial. Think of the seed that falls into the ground. It does not sprout immediately. It lies buried in the darkness, seemingly lifeless, but beneath the surface, something miraculous is happening. The seed's shell is breaking down, the root is pushing downward, the sprout is growing upward. It must die to its old form to be reborn as something greater. Your suffering is that burial. It is the breaking open of the old so that new life can emerge. Sometimes the waiting feels endless. Days turn to weeks, weeks to months, and months to years. It is easy to lose heart. The heart cries out for relief, for a sign, for some indication that this period of preparation will end. But the truth is, the timing is not yours to control. The process unfolds according to a wisdom far beyond human understanding. What seems like delay is often divine timing, aligning circumstances and readying conditions for a breakthrough that will surpass anything you have imagined. There is a danger in rushing this process. When you try to force your way forward, when you seek shortcuts or quick fixes, you risk missing the fullness of what is being prepared for you. The greatest blessings are those that come in their appointed time, after the refining is complete. The impatience that tempts you to give up or take matters into your own hands will only lead to frustration and loss. In the midst of suffering, you may wrestle with questions of worthiness. You may feel unworthy of the blessings or the purpose that lies ahead. This is a lie. The preparation is not a punishment. It is a sign of value. What is precious is never given carelessly. It is guarded, nurtured, and refined. You are being prepared because what lies ahead is worth it. The waiting is a testament to the significance of your journey. This refining process also teaches dependence. When the weight of suffering presses upon you and your own strength fails, you learn to rely on something greater. This dependence is not weakness, it is the source of true strength. The pride that insists you must control your destiny is broken, and in that breaking, a new power is discovered. You are not alone in this waiting. There is a strength that sustains, a light that guides, a hope that does not disappoint. You might find comfort in stories of those who endured similar trials. Throughout history, many who have been entrusted with great missions walked long paths of suffering and waiting. Their stories are not of instant triumph, but of perseverance, faith, and transformation. They knew that their preparation was shaping them for a purpose beyond their own understanding. Their lives are testimonies to the power of enduring through the refining fire. It is vital to guard your heart during this time. The enemy of your soul will try to convince you that the waiting is in vain, that you are forgotten, or that you are too broken to be used. Do not listen to these lies. Your current circumstances do not define your destiny. The process you are in is preparing you for a destiny that will far exceed your present trials. Use this time wisely. Do not squander it in bitterness or despair. Instead, let it be a season of growth. Cultivate patience, humility, and faithfulness in the little things. Learn to rejoice in the small mercies, to find strength in weakness, and to trust in the unseen hand that guides your life. The character you build now will be the foundation upon which something great is established. Every moment of suffering has a purpose. It is a step in the journey toward maturity, wisdom, and fulfillment. The waiting is not a void, but a fertile ground where the seeds of your future are planted. What you endure now is preparing you for a harvest of blessing that will overflow. Remember, the refining fire does not destroy, it purifies. The waiting does not abandon, it prepares. You are being molded into a vessel fit for honor, equipped for the greater things that lie ahead. Though you cannot see the full picture now, hold fast to this truth. Your suffering and waiting are purposeful. They are the sacred process of preparation for something far greater than you have yet imagined. If you will endure, if you will trust, if you will remain faithful, the day will come when the pain of preparation will be overshadowed by the joy of fulfillment. The waiting will be over. The purpose will be revealed. And you will stand as one who has been refined, strengthened, and prepared for the magnificent future that awaits. True hope and perseverance are born not out of the visible, the tangible, or the easily understood, but from an unwavering faith in what cannot yet be seen. The world around you clamors for immediate evidence, for proof that what you believe in is real, for signs that comfort and security will soon follow. Yet, true hope does not depend on these things. It is not a fragile flame that flickers and dies when the wind blows harshly. It is a deep-rooted confidence, a steady anchor planted firmly in the reality of the unseen promise. There is a profound difference between hope that is based on circumstances and hope that is grounded in faith. The hope born of circumstances is like a candle in the wind, easily snuffed out by trials, disappointments, or setbacks. It looks to the here and now, to what is pleasant and encouraging, and when those things fade, so does the hope. But the hope that sustains through suffering and delay is anchored in the eternal. It rests on a promise that transcends time, culture, and condition. It is a hope that endures when every visible thing says, "Give up." To understand this hope, one must look beyond the natural eye. The visible world is fleeting, ever-changing, often cruel. What seems certain today can vanish tomorrow. Joy and pain rise and fall like the tide. If your hope is set on these things, it will be tossed to and fro like a ship without a rudder. But faith sees beyond the storm. It looks not to the storm itself, but to the hand that holds the helm, the power that calms the waves. There is an unseen reality that is more real than what you can touch or measure. This reality is not dependent on your circumstances, your feelings, or your understanding. It is eternal and unchanging. To place your hope in this unseen reality is to say, though I cannot see it now, I trust that it is true. Though my heart is weary, I believe in the promise that has been given. This kind of faith is not blind optimism. It is not a naive hope that everything will work out just because you wish it. It is a deliberate, conscious decision to trust what has been spoken, even when the evidence is not yet visible. It is the courage to walk forward in the darkness, guided by a light that others cannot see. It is the strength to persevere when every natural impulse says to stop. Perseverance, then, is the natural fruit of this unwavering hope. When you believe deeply in the unseen promise, giving up is not an option. You press on, not because the road is easy, but because the end is worth the struggle. The challenges you face become opportunities to prove the depth of your trust, to strengthen your character, and to grow in endurance. Perseverance is not merely stubbornness. It is a steadfast commitment to the promise that sustains you. Look to the examples of those who have walked this path before you. They did not receive what was promised in their lifetime. Many faced rejection, hardship, and even death without seeing the full fulfillment of the promises they believed in. Yet their faith did not waver. Their hope was anchored in the unseen. They endured because they were convinced that the promise was sure and that their labor was not in vain. You may feel that your perseverance is weak, that your hope is fading. This is natural. The human heart grows weary, the spirit is tested, and doubts arise. But even in these moments, do not despair. True faith acknowledges its weakness and leans more heavily on the unseen reality. It says, I do not understand everything, but I trust the one who holds my future. Do not be fooled by the allure of fleeting comforts or immediate gratification. These things may offer temporary relief, but they cannot sustain you through the long nights of waiting and the deep valleys of suffering. They are like mirages that vanish when you reach for them, leaving you more thirsty than before. True hope is not a quick fix or a momentary escape. It is the deep well that sustains you through every trial. This hope also transforms the way you live in the present. It changes your perspective from one of despair to one of expectation. It frees you from being controlled by fear, anxiety, or discouragement. When your hope is fixed on the unseen promise, you can face the present with courage and peace. You can endure hardship with joy, knowing that it is producing a greater good that is not yet visible. Faith in the unseen also calls you to a life of obedience and trust. It is not passive. It requires active engagement, a daily choosing to walk in the path set before you even when the destination is unclear. This obedience is the soil in which perseverance grows. When you obey the call to trust and wait, you are planting seeds that will yield a harvest of hope and fulfillment. You must also guard your heart against despair and doubt. The enemy of hope is often the voice that whispers lies, telling you that the promise is empty, that you have been forgotten, or that your suffering is meaningless. These lies seek to steal your perseverance and extinguish your faith. Resist them by fixing your eyes on the truth of the unseen promise. Remember the faithfulness of those who have gone before you, the unchanging nature of the one who holds your future, and the deep assurance that comes from trusting in what is eternal. Hope and perseverance in the unseen promise are not easy. They require discipline, sacrifice, and often pain, but they are the only sure foundation for a life that overcomes the trials of this world. They empower you to rise above despair, to keep moving forward when all seems lost, and to hold fast to the conviction that your labor is not in vain. In this waiting and enduring, you are being transformed. Your character is being refined, your faith is being strengthened, your hope is being deepened. These qualities prepare you for the fulfillment that is to come. When the promise is finally revealed, your perseverance will be a testimony to the power of unwavering faith. So, in moments of darkness, when you cannot see the way forward, cling to this truth. True hope and perseverance come not from what is seen, but from faith in the unseen promise. This faith is the anchor for your soul, the light in the darkness, and the strength in your weakness. It will carry you through the storm and lead you into the fulfillment of the promise that awaits. Do not look to your feelings or circumstances to sustain you. Instead, fix your gaze on the eternal and unchanging promise. Trust that what has been spoken will come to pass. Wait with patience, endure with joy, and persevere with unwavering faith. The unseen promise is sure, and your hope in it will never be in vain.